Welcome in to another episode of Chic and Ball. I'm your boy Els, and today we have part 2 of our top 10 juniors to be seniors. We got some good highlights, so kick back and enjoy. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and share your thoughts on the program. If you follow the show, all our part 2s we did from 20 to 11, so we doing it the same this time. And without further ado, first up on the list we have an aspiring anthropologist, but sometimes she doubles as a basketball player. I'm talking about former Princeton Tiger, new UConn Husky, Kaitlyn Chen. Now we know Ivy League players tend to go under the radar, but this one, she gonna turn some heads next year, especially going to UConn. Now, I know y'all look at the Ivy League players like they should just be in lab coats and looking up at telescopes and writing math equations, but she got recruited to go to UConn, and we all know that Gino Auriemma don't just recruit anybody, especially with that team being loaded at guard already. He must know something that we don't know. But I know something you don't know, or you may not know, and I'm about to tell you. She, as a guard, led the Ivies in field goal percentage at 48%, and she only 5'9", guys. And this ain't just in the Ivies, she got busy in the tournament games too. She averaged 17 points in 5 tournament games, which is higher than her Ivy average, which is only 14. Our next athlete comes from a basketball family. She's a 4-star recruit, top 100 player, and Pac-12 most improved player. I'm talking about former Colorado Buffalo, new Baylor Bear, Aaronette Vonleh. Aaronette Vonleh will be playing for a third university thanks to the transfer portal. She started out as an Arizona Wildcat, then became a Colorado Buffalo for the past 2 basketball years. Now, she'll be a Baylor Bear. My confidence in her comes from knowing that her brother, Noah Vonleh, was drafted 9th overall by Michael Jordan and played 9 NBA seasons. That being said, she's been playing against tough competition for a long time. She's very good around the rim, even though she's small for her position. She plays with IQ and takes very good shots. Last year, she was all Pac-12, averaging 14 on 10 field goal attempts. Next athlete on the list, coming in at number 18, she's an all Pac-12 player and Pac-12 all defense from South Central LA. I'm talking about the Southern California Trojan, Rayah Marshall. I really like Rayah Marshall's potential. She got the length, she a shot blocker, she led the Pac-12 in rebounds and blocks in 2023. She had 20 double-doubles last year, and that went very under the radar. But hey, what you expect when you playing next to Juju? She gonna have to take even more of a backseat with Kiki coming in, but I think it will also and should also open her game up more. This should mean more shots, higher field goal percentage, and this is your senior year. You can enter into that draft. If USC mess around and crack the Final Four and get into that national championship game, that would mean a lot putting her in front of those GMs and scouts of the WNBA. And again, I repeat, she kinda riding around right now in the 1950 pickup. She got a low-ass motor. She capable of anchoring the defense, as I said, but she just need to play a little more nasty. You got Juju Watkins next to you. Do whatever the hell you want out there. If it was me, I'd be talking out of my ass to everybody, including the refs, because I know Juju gonna bring it home. But keep an eye on Rayah Marshall. She gonna be the third option on this team, and I think she gonna have a real impact. The next athlete on the list today, coming in at number 17, she's 2-time All-Big Ten, led the Big Ten in offensive rebounding in 2 consecutive years. Born in Ohio, raised in Nebraska, I'm talking about Lincoln, Nebraska's own Alexis Markowski. The leader of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and I think that's why she gets underrated, because it's Nebraska. And in my opinion, I don't think she's a number 1 option type player, but her skill set will fit in with any great team. As a stretch 4, she reminds me a lot of Stephanie Dolson. Doesn't play real fast, but can play out the post and spot up shoot. Now, Big Mama Steph went to UConn and was a 2-time national champ and went number 6 in her draft. Now, that was back in 2014, and the position has changed a lot. So what Stephanie Dolson did in her time is not the same as what AMAC is doing right now. But I would really love to see AMAC around some great players. I think she would be a great fit with a dynamic guard next to her. You know, somebody that can get her some open shots, because she's not really good at creating her own shot, but she can hit her shots nonetheless. Last year, she averaged 16 and 10, Since her freshman year, she's shooting 35% from three. Big time stretch player. I think she'll be a good, maybe 7th or 8th rotation player in the WNBA. Next player on the list coming in at number 16, she's from South Atlanta, but she took her talents to South Carolina. Yes, guys, another Don Staley recruit, Sania Feagin. The only national champion on today's list, a 2-time national champion. And she stepped up big time playing behind some great players. But don't let that fool you into thinking she's not a real player herself. She battles, she blocks shots, and she can hit the midi. The best part about her game for me is that she's durable. She really don't miss no games. She actually played in all 38 games for South Carolina last year and started in 3. She don't really got no ego. She's a glue player you can just kind of plug and play. And the winning that she's experienced at South Carolina and the role that she plays on those teams, that's only going to help her fit in on other great teams. The next athlete we got on today's list, she started her career in the SEC, but now is in the ACC, and she's being coached by a former WNBA champion. I'm talking about the Duke Lady Blue Devils, Reigan Richardson. Man, Reigan Richardson got so much untapped potential. She got the size, she listed at about 5'11". Look at that, jumper look real good. She can hit from 3 in mid-range. She attacks the rim with both hands. And she's gotten better every year since she's been in college. She spent her freshman year as a Georgia Bulldog before transferring to Duke, and under Kara Lawson, she averaged a career-high 12 points. Even with that average, that led this Duke team, and they were still ranked as high as 17 with Reigan Richardson as their leader. She put me on notice last year in the NCAA tournament when she dropped 28 on my Ohio State Buckeyes and helped Duke come back from down 16. But she's done a lot more than that. Just keep an eye on the Lady Blue Devils. They'll make some noise this year. Next athlete we're going to talk about today, like many of our athletes, was a McDonald All-American, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, and All Big 12 selection. This time we're going to Texas, and we're going to talk about a Longhorn, Aaliyah Moore. Now this is a very underrated player, but when I watch her, she got one of the highest motors that I've seen out of any of these young women. She gonna give her all from the time she step into the game, whether that's coming off the bench or if she in the starting lineup. She has some really good games in the tournament, and if I just look at the conference tournament and NCAA tournament, she averaged 15 and 8. So she brings it against the best teams, and I think if this Longhorns team had Roy Harmon, they probably would have gotten to the Final Four. They made it to the Elite 8 without her, but the Longhorns had literally no answer for Isaiah James, and she went off for 27, and they lost to NC State. But back to Aaliyah Moore, I think she'll be one of the bigs that don't get the recognition, but going into her senior year, she'll be a diamond in the rough for a team in this upcoming draft. The next athlete we have will be joining Aaliyah Moore at Texas. She's formerly of the Michigan Wolverines, 2-time All-Big Ten player, Laila Phelia. Now, she has been one of the best scoring combo guards in college basketball. 16 points per game in the last 2 basketball years for Laila Phelia. Not only that, she led the Big Ten in minutes per game. And you know what? That tells me she don't want to come out the game until the job is done. And she also from Cincinnati. And y'all know how I feel about my Ohio girls. And I'm going to keep on harping on that because it's so much comp that come out of Ohio in the sports realm here. You got to think about all the teams in Ohio. We got 3 pro franchises in Cleveland, the Guardians, the Browns, the Cavs. Then we got the Ohio State University. Then, you know, we got the Bengals. We have minor league baseball teams, the Akron Rubber Ducks. Toledo has a pretty good women's basketball program. But I say that to say this. Laila Phelia, she been around that competition and she locked in. She gonna surprise a lot of people next year. The next athlete comes to us from Moscow, Russia. She only came to America to play college basketball and soon to be in the WNBA. I'm talking about the ravishing Russian, Anastasiia Boldyreva. I love watching this girl play. This is the Moscow Mommy, my Russian girl, Anastasiia. Very high-level shot blocking stretch 5. She finished 5th in blocks in the nation last year with 3 blocks. She can play out the post, and the best thing about her post game is she not gonna take 5-6 dribbles. She like to get it and go. She got the up and under. She got a little post fade. She was also 6th in the nation in field goal percentage at 61%. And to do you one better, she's 46% from 3 at Middle Tennessee. Now granted, she doesn't take a lot of threes, but when she does, it's money. And this Middle Tennessee program has 2 outstanding pros in the WNBA right now with Alysha Clark and Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. I think they just developed another one with Anastasiia. She reminds me a lot of Dorka Juhas. I think she might be a little more skilled offensively than Dorka, but I think Dorka is stronger. But either way, I think Anastasiia has great pro potential and she'll have another great year coming up. Now, the top player on today's list. Quick fun fact, her father played at Ohio State, also played in the NBA, and on pro teams in Greece, France, Spain, and Israel. She's 2-time All-Big Ten player and All-Defense. I'm talking about the Maryland Terrapin, Shyanne Sellers. Here you go, another Ohio girl, and she's from Aurora, which is a suburb of Cleveland and Akron. But this is one of them ones. Her IQ and feel for the game on offense reminds me a lot of Diamond DeShields. Now, I think Diamond DeShields was a little more aggressive on offense. She just naturally took more shots, but I think Cheyenne has that DNA. She's very athletic. She's a triple-double threat, one of few players in college basketball who has multiple double-doubles with points and assists and points and rebounds. Then on defense, she's capable of guarding the best players in the game. 6'2", can move left and right, plays with strength on defense, and she's a legitimate point guard at 6'2", because she will not overshoot. She's looking to set up her teammates. She'll have Kaitlyn Chen with her next year, and we'll see how they both elevate their games. But right now, I see Shyanne Sellers going late first round, early second, depending on how the draft order goes. She averaged 15, 5, and 5 last year, and that can only get better. There you have it, another look at our list today. Let me just say, with 3 WNBA teams coming over the next 3 years, one in Oakland, then Toronto, and then Portland, all of these players have a real shot at going pro. That's why it's key for you to follow these lists. No one is going in depth about these players like we are. I mean, this is my 7th list of at least 10 players that I've done over the summer of 2024. It takes me so long putting this stuff together. So again, if you enjoy, please hit that like button, share, and comment. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Thank you for everyone for listening and watching. I'm Els for PRNM. Talk to you on the next one.